What up? Coming to you live from Hawaii. If you saw my last video, you saw that I am the new proud owner of this 1994 Daihatsu HiJet for the next 5 days. So shout out to JDM Hawaii for letting me use this as my loaner while I'm here. And today's video, we're gonna do two very fun things. One, we're gonna go over this HiJet because I honestly love the S100. It's probably my perfect truck. It's just really missing two things that I'll get into later in this video. But it's blue, 5-speed, and it's a HiJet. Three things that I love. And secondly, we're gonna go on a mini road trip because if you guys know me, you know I love a good old K road trip. So I'm gonna drive this car about an hour away to North Shore. I'm in Waikiki, that's like the lower part of Hawaii. I'm gonna go to the top of the island and we're gonna do a POV highway drive because I feel like the biggest misconception, besides the fact that these get 70 miles per gallon and that the odometers are 5-digit and people say they have low miles when they really don't. But the biggest misconception is that these cars cannot go on the highway, they can't go on the interstate. Like if you just do a quick Google search and you put like, can you drive a K truck on the interstate? It'll probably say no. Like most people drive these like 40, 50 miles per hour and that's fine. Like all power to you guys. But me, I drove my Jimny 5 hours from Baltimore to New York. I drove my Bravo from Boston to New York and back. I drove my Bravo from New York to Baltimore and back. I love road trips and I love going in fun cars, and my fun cars happen to be K cars. I'm not gonna stop going on road trips because I have a HiJet. So today we're gonna do that. We're gonna drive around the entire island to be exact, and we're just gonna see how it does. This one even has AC, so I'm gonna be doing that with the AC on, which kind of kills the power, but it'll still be a very fun trip. So without further ado, let's review the K truck first. So this is a 1994 Daihatsu HiJet S100. 100 means rear wheel drive, 110 means four wheel drive. And the biggest way you can tell obviously is that there's no high low right here. So there would usually be a high low, and then that this button is to initiate the four wheel drive. It'll be a picture of like the transfer case. There's nothing here. So this truck is a full-time rear wheel drive, which to me would be a flaw if I lived in New York. I'm in Hawaii right now, so it really doesn't make a difference. But that is the one biggest flaw if I were to buy this truck hypothetically in New York. But for the people that have a truck and they have a four-wheel drive truck, especially a Daihatsu or just really any truck that has engageable four-wheel drive, even a sandbar, you guys never put in four-wheel drive, let's be honest, because when you're in four-wheel drive you can't even go like 80 kilometers an hour. It feels crazy. It's just really good for like snow and off-roading and stuff like that. When I had a HiJet, when I had a K truck just in general, even my carry, it was on rear-wheel drive 99.9% of the time. So it's not a deal breaker, but I wish it had four-wheel drive just because you could do more. So my first ever K truck was actually an S83 HiJet. It was a 4-speed, it was slower, it was just not as good as this one pretty much. And what I love about the S100s and the S110s is that it got a new motor with the refresh, like, and isn't just like the fact that it has a new front bumper and all that. It got a new motor and it's one of the faster K trucks. For the people that have a HiJet, it's just as fast as the Clover 4 sandbar, not the supercharged of course, but the sandbar is just as fast, way quicker than the Acti, way quicker than that Suzuki, maybe not way quicker than a Suzuki, but way quicker than a Acti. Speaking of motor, it is under the seat, a little more pushed back than the Suzuki, but it's right there. There's all the goodies. Another thing I love about this truck is the fact that it's blue. I think colored K trucks are one of the coolest ones, even if you paint it yourself, but the fact that this one is like OEM blue just makes it extra special. To name something I don't like though is it doesn't have AC vents here. It's missing one here and there. I wish that it had AC because it only blows through right here, which is okay, but it would be nice to have one here just for the passenger and then an additional one for myself over there. That'd be nice. Interior wise, it's very clean as you guys saw. No rips on the seats. You have a little storage back here, a little storage back there, nothing crazy. Door cards and everything are normal. The glove box comes out like this. Pretty neat. Radios obviously AM. All right, now let's start this drive. Start the HiJet. 660cc. One thing I definitely miss about having an engine under my seat, I didn't get that in the Wagoner or the Jimny, is that the engine note is just perfect. So I haven't really been able to find a quote-unquote highway. Most of the roads are like this, but I'll show you guys a POV of me being able to just get into 5th gear so you guys can kind of see what it's like in this HiJet. So you can see I'm in neutral right now, 0. Make sure the coast is clear. 1st gear is actually so hilarious. Like, look, it doesn't even move. And I'm clearly moving, but still goes up to like 20 kilometers max. Second, I would say 30 kilometers. Now I'm in third. 50 kilometers. Now I'm in fourth. Fourth is a very long gear, same with fifth. Fourth, you'll go to like 75, 80. Look at these views, by the way. Well, we're still in fourth. We're at 70. I know I could give it a little more. Let me get this turn. Still in fourth gear. We're in fourth all the way to 80. So now we're gonna go into fifth. And fifth can go, I think right here is a perfect cruising speed. Like this is the safe speed. There's a car in front of me, so I can't really go too much faster, but I'll go to 100 really quick. So my foot's all the way down. You can see I'm gaining on him. 162 miles per hour to be exact. We just hit 100. If he wasn't in front of me, I would go even faster. I think it's a Hilux. Oh wow, it's a Surf. Look, it's the dude driving right-hand drive. I didn't even realize. There's a Surf in front of me. How funny is that? And now I'm in fifth gear cruising. I'm going 70 kilometers an hour. The HiJet is not screaming. I also want to add that I had the AC on. It's on 2 right now this entire time. If I had the AC off, I would have got to 100 even faster. One thing I definitely don't miss about having a K-Truck is that my back hurts from sitting up straight and having such a bumpy ride. I have the AC on again, by the way. I'm gonna turn it off just so you can see how much faster the car gets. I wonder if the camera can pick up like the dramatic power difference. So look, I'm gonna put the AC on blast. Yeah, the camera doesn't pick it up, but look, this is me gunning in a third with AC on blast. I'm gonna turn the AC off now and do the same exact pull. Yeah, the camera won't pick it up, but trust me, if you ever driven a K-Truck, you know the dramatic difference of having the AC on and having it not on. You see that? That means we're finally gonna get on the actual highway. So right now I'm in fourth, going 70 kilometers an hour. I'm in the left lane. That Jeep is kind of pulling for me, but I'm going 90 now. That's about like 50 miles per hour. I'm still in fourth. I want this to be a demonstration for the people who are like, do I need a 5-speed or a 4-speed truck? So right now I'm in fourth. There's no RPM gauge, but kind of just listen to the engine if you can. So I'm going 80. I'm probably very close to red line. Maybe, let's just say red line is 7. I'm at like 4.5 right now. I'm in fourth still. I'm gonna move over a little bit. Now I'm going 90. Now the engine is, can you hear it? It's kind of screaming. Look at this random bucket. But the engine is kind of screaming right now. I'm gonna try to get to 100 now in fourth. So right now I'm going 100 kilometers in fourth gear. The engine is just like, bruh, switch, please switch gears. So now I'm gonna go into fifth. And it isn't a lot better, but it's better. Because look, right now I'm going 120. I'll show you guys right now. So I'm going about like 68 miles per hour. Car may be about to pass me, but look, even if I want to go faster, let's just say I want to go 120. My foot isn't all the way down, but it's kind of all the way down. Now I'm going about 70 something. There's a car past me, but he's going very fast. And as you can see, catching up to traffic with no issue at all. My temp gauges are normal. The car drives fine. Like look, I'll let go of the wheel right now. The car drives absolutely fine. Drop down the speed a little bit. Chilling. RPM's not too high. The engine is not screaming. I have to say too, this truck in comparison to my S83 is a lot quieter. Like I barely even hear it screaming. Like it isn't screaming as far as sound goes, but it's screaming as far as like you just know that if this had an RPM gauge, it's very high. But again, look, going 100 kilometers an hour comfortably. The wheel isn't shaking like crazy. Going 110 right now. One finger on the wheel. Again, there's a car past me, but like I said, I'm going pretty good for the highway right now. This is what I mean, especially with like Florida and Texas, where like The speed limit is 70, 80 over there. Everybody's just out. I don't really feel like I'm impeding traffic. Or if you've ever been in a K-truck or just a slow car in general where you're all the way in the right and you just feel unsafe. Like if I really wanted to, I'm going 110. I'm gonna put my foot all the way down right now. I'm gonna catch up to this guy, watch. Especially downhill. Look, now I'm going 120. That's like 70 something miles per hour. I passed him if I wanted to. Still going 120. I could catch up to all these guys if I really wanted to. It isn't best for your car, but don't think because you're in a K-truck that you're just gonna be like hopeless in this car. It's really not like that at all. But even now, I'm cruising at 110. The car doesn't feel like it's screaming. It still has some more. Like look, if I put my foot down, I can catch up to this Porsche a little easier. But I'm always gonna say, a comfortable speed to go is about 90 to 100. When anyone ever asks me, how fast can it go? What's the top speed? I always comment back, you can cruise from 90 to 100. Right now I'm cruising. 90 kilometers an hour. I am chilling right now. I'm still not really impeding traffic because again, I put my foot all the way down. Takes a little second, but Nissan is now passed. And I'm going 105 right now. And then for the people who want to know, would I personally want to go on a road trip in a K-truck? I'm going to say no, just because they're not very comfortable, but I would do it. I just had a lot of money and I was able to stop whenever I wanted and get a hotel. I would have no issue driving this thing 10 hours, 7 hours, because it's chilling. Like right now, I don't feel like I'm in a 60 horsepower or 40 horsepower 25-year-old truck. I feel like I'm in a normal car. There's not a lot of people passing me. I'm in the right lane just to be in the right lane right now. Like I can easily go faster. And right now I'm cruising at 100. Daihatsu gang, stand up. So now I'm exiting off the highway. About to get some food. Gonna come to complete stop right now. And I'm really loving this HiJet. I'm telling you, if this thing was 4-wheel drive, it would be like my dream truck basically. Like I love the supercharged sandbar, but those are so expensive. And like, do you want to deal with the supercharger? Like, do you want to deal with those problems? Do you want to deal with any really force-inducted K car in general? Like, I've put so much money into the Jimny just because it had so many issues. I didn't have to do that with the Bravo. I didn't have to do that with the Carry. I didn't have to do that with the Wagonar. It just worked. But cracked manifold because of turbo, all that extra stuff, it kind of is more problems. For a naturally aspirated truck like this, it's quick, it's fun, it's blue, which I love, has AC, which I love. Only thing missing is 4-wheel drive, but 4-wheel drive because I live in New York. If I lived in Hawaii, I would not care at all. I guess maybe if I wanted to go off-roading it'd be fun, but less things to worry about, less things breaking. So I'm gonna end this video here. Let me know in the comments what else you guys want to see while I still have this HiJet. About to get some food. I think this was a great video because I really showed the ins and outs about driving a K-truck just in general. Difference between 4 and 5 speed, which I feel like a lot of people need to understand. Like, I had a 4-speed truck. I literally owned it for like a year, and it was cool. It was cool if you are doing literally only local driving. But once you want to get on the highway, once you want to go anywhere over, like, once you got to get on the highway, period, forget the time. I used to dread it, and I don't feel that way once I got a 5-speed. Even in the automatics, I'll take an automatic before I take a freaking 4-speed truck. Trust me. But there it is, 1994 Daihatsu HiJet S100. Peace out.